यमुना जीवना केली परायण मानसा चंद्र चकोरा नाम सुधारसा गाओ कृष्ण यश राखो वचन मनोमोरा. There are many songs which are written by our acharyas which glorify Krishna and Krishna's holy name. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written many songs which are just filled with Krishna's names. Like for example, Vibhavari Shesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chadi Utho Jiva. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, give up your laziness. It is morning time, dawn time. Oh devotees, Nidra Chadi Utho. Please give up your laziness. Give up your sleep and wake up. And do what? Bolo. Please sing. Please chant. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. So what are we supposed to chant? So from the second line or the third line of the first verse to the 8th verse of the Ashtakam, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is only filling it up with the names of Shri Krishna. Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva Narasimha Vamana Shri Madhusudana Brajendra Nandana Shama Putana Ghatana Kaita Vashatana Jaya Dasharati Rama Yashoda Dulala Govinda Gopala Vrindavana Purandara Gopi Priya Jana Radhika Ramana Bhuvana Sundaravara Ravananta Kara Makhanata Skara Gopi Jana Vastrahari Brajera Rakhala Gopa Brinda Pala Chitta Hari Vamshidhari Yogindra Vandana Shri Nandanandana Vrajajana Bhayahari Navina Nirada Rupa Manohara Mohana Vamsi Vihari Yashoda Nandana Kamsa Nishudana Nikunjara Savilasi Kadamba Kanana Rasa Parayana Vrinda Vipina Nivasi Ananda Vardhana Premaniketana Pulasara Jojaka Kama Gopanganangana Chitta Vinodana Samasta Guna Ganadhama Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakora Nama Sudharasa Gao Krishna Yasha Rakho Vachana Manomora. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Nama Sudharasa Gao Krishna Yasha. Drink the nectar of the holy name and sing Krishna's glories. Rakho Vachana Manomora. Oh my Lord, please protect my tongue and my mind. So in this way, by glorifying the holy name, there are so many verses, so many songs that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written. So the 6 Goswamis, Sankhya Purvaka Nama, they chanted the holy name in Japa. They also sang so many songs. And third was Nati Bihi. They would offer obeisances. So these 3 things we can do while being at home also. We can increase our Japa. We can do Kirtan in front of our Thakurji at home. We can keep pictures, or if we have deities, we can sit in front of them. Take our Kartal. We don't have to think, I don't know to sing, I don't have sur, I don't have tal. Krishna does not see. Krishna does not care for sur, asur or sasur. He just cares for bhav. He doesn't care for anything else. If we have sincerity, even if we are going off tune, no problem. On the other hand, if we have all the alankars and musical embellishments, but if there is no calling from the heart, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, that is like the labor pain call of a lady who is not pregnant. The Mataji who's pregnant, if she has pain, labor pain, that is justified because she has a baby to deliver. But the Mataji who doesn't have a baby in her womb, if she acts like that and she's having labor pain shouts and screams, what's the use if there's no baby? Vishwanath Chakravarti says. So in this way, our acharyas, they chanted so much japa. You see on the altar, 6 Goswamis, they are chanting. Their hand is in the bead bag. Their hand is in the bead bag. So that is why we have the strand of the bead bag. You see, the strand which goes around. So that we always keep it around our neck. What we do is we finish our chanting and we put it in our drawer. Or we put it in a shelf. So that now, even if we have time, we don't remember that we had to chant. Prabhupada made 16 as the minimum. But we have made Prabhupada's minimum our maximum. Even if we have time, we are giving excuses that, oh, my chanting is over. Actually, this over concept doesn't exist according to Shastra. Mahaprabhu said, Sada Hari, Kirtaniya Sada Hari. Even Sri Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridabrataha. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So the word Sada, Satatam, Nityam, Shunvanti, Gayanti, Grinanti, Abhikshnasha, Smaranti, Tave Hita Jana. Queen Kunti says Abhikshnasha, which means constantly. Constant chanting of the holy name. Srila Prabhupada, our Shrutakirti Prabhu, our Hari Suri Prabhu, they all explain. Prabhupada was so busy, but he was always chanting. He was chanting in the morning, he was chanting in his morning walks. Hari Suri Prabhu describes, Shrutakirti Prabhu also describes, Prabhupada would come out of his room, that time also he had his bead bag. Inside the room, sometimes when the servant would see, Prabhupada was either translating, writing with his spectacles on his nose, or he was chanting. It's always chanting. Devotees we must always try to chant as much as we can. So the thread is so that we put it around our neck. So that whenever we have about 5 minutes, we can chant one round. When we keep ourselves so busy with the positivity, where is the time to discuss other things? Someone who's on emergency, someone who's really on a desperate emergency, he has no time for anything else. For those who want to get Krishna, they will find reasons. And for those who don't feel the emergency, they don't feel the urgency, they will find excuses. Today, my mood is not good, so I'm not going to chant. But it doesn't work like that. When we have good mood, we go to the office, we go for work. But even when we have bad mood, we still go. We still go. Doesn't matter on our mood. If our boss has given us project deadline, the project has to go live, we work overtime. Even if we like, we don't like, we still do it. We don't say, mera mood nahi hai, man nahi karta. It doesn't matter. Then we will be kicked out, laid off. So we'll be laid off, Gauranga Mahaprabhu's army, if we don't perform. This is a Hare Krishna explosive movement. This is a Hare Krishna movement, which means Hare Krishna is the prominence in our movement. So if we don't invest enough in our bead bag, then are we actually part of the Hare Krishna movement? We may externally be part of the Hare Krishna movement. We have tilak and kantimala and dhoti and kurta and even shika maybe. But are we actually heart to heart? Are we part of the Hare Krishna movement? We are part of the Hare Krishna movement only when our consciousness has a movement. It moves upwards on the basis of the Hare Krishna chanting, investment, our energy, our determination. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, anyone who takes Diksha, he has registered himself for colossal struggle in improvement in one's quality of japa. So therefore, it is of paramount importance that we invest enough time in our chanting of the holy names. Srila Prabhupada chanted all the time. Our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, 10 years, he chanted 300,000 names of Krishna every day. 10 years, what urgency. Saraswati Thakur was a ray of Vishnu. You see, he was just born by the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur to help in the preaching mission. He didn't need any more empowerment. He belongs eternally to Radha and Krishna. But he chanted 10 years in Navadvip Dham, chanting the holy name, chanting 300,000 names of Krishna for 10 years. And he's the original billionaire, so to speak. So we all want to be millionaires and billionaires, but Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada chanted 1 billion names. And then he started the preaching of the Gaudiya Math and established 64 Gaudiya Maths. Our Prabhupada also, 10 years of chanting at Radha Damodar. Those who lived with Srila Prabhupada and Radha Damodar during that time, they express in their remembrances and memories of Srila Prabhupada's glory. They say that A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada never wasted time. He never spoke. That's their saying. They say he never spoke. He would keep maun all day. And only in the evening he would come out in the courtyard of Radha Damodar and he would give classes in English. Brajvasis and Bengalis, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, those who speak Hindi, those who speak Bengali, they would congregate. And they would sit that Swamiji is speaking in English. No one knew what is happening. But when Prabhupada established the Hare Krishna movement, that's when they understood that, oh, our Prabhupada was speaking in English because he was practicing giving Hari Katha in English at Radha Damodar so that he can, flood the world with Krishna Katha. So Srila Prabhupada ate very little, he spoke very little, and he chanted all day. And that is where he was getting his ecstasy from, by the chanting process. And what he received through the Harinam chanting is what he infused in the purports. So when Prabhupada says, these purports are my transcendental ecstasy, that ecstasy is coming by investing in Harinam, Harinam Japa. You see, when we get old, it is possible that we will, first of all, it's possible that we may not get old, we may die in our youth. But if we live and we go that far in our old age, it's possible that we may not be able to give classes. We may not be able to speak, we may be very weak. Or even if we are energetic, we may not remember the stories and the shlokas and the context and the connections, and we may have a tough time to give classes. In old age, even doing book distribution may be difficult. In old age, maybe standing and cooking for 3-4 hours for a feast will be difficult. In old age, making garlands, collecting the flower petals and making it into smaller petals and then putting the needle and the string through the petal will be difficult. We will not be able to see. Maybe even doing deity worship and intricate decorations of the deity will be difficult. Maybe even doing book distribution, carrying those books and going around will be difficult. Carrying a mridanga and singing for hours will be difficult. What is that service that we can offer when we are old? That is Nam Japa. Nam Japa. Just sitting in one place and moving our tongue and lips and calling out to Krishna with tears, Krishna, I am going to die, please help me. But the thing is, that is possible only when we have taste, we have Nam Ruchi. Only then it is possible. But it's interesting, Madhurya Kadambani and Vishwanath Chakravarti's Madhurya Kadambani and Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes that the stage of Ruchi comes after the stage of Nishtha. So before we get Nam Ruchi, we have Nam Nishtha. So we have to be fixed up. We have to fight our laziness. It's better to struggle in our japa than to struggle into another mother's womb again, or worse, to struggle in 8.4 million species again. So therefore, to invest in our japa right now is of paramount importance. Before old age comes, if we invest enough time in our Nam japa and we get Nam Ruchi, then even when the old age is filled with difficulty, we have back problem, we have varicose veins, we have arthritis, and we have maybe Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or whatever. We have so many different problems of the body, problems of the mind. We can still take shelter of Krishna sitting in one corner by chanting japa. What happens when we don't invest enough in chanting japa? The tongue's desire to vibrate continues, and we have not got taste for chanting japa. So when we get old, the desire to vibrate the tongue continues, and the desire to chant japa is not there because we have not invested enough time in our youth. So what happens? As a result, we start speaking about why Virat Kohli got out so quickly, why Roger Federer delayed his retirement, why Donald Trump is doing this. And getting worse, we talk about why the son-in-law is doing this, why daughter-in-law is doing this, why daughter-in-law is not feeding my son enough. Before marriage, I as the mother was feeding my son so much, but after marriage, daughter-in-law is not feeding the son enough. And my son is stuck now. Bichara, no one is feeding. And the mother's love and the desire to vibrate continues. And this will disrupt relationships in the family. So we end up paying a price and there's breakage in relationship just for our expression of affection because of miscalculated compassion. On the other hand, if we develop and get Nam Japa Ruchi before old age comes in, we can sit in one place and chant Japa. The only problem people will have is that he doesn't contribute enough. But they will not criticize. They will say, Sadhu, oh, he or she chants all day, so no problem. We are okay to feed her. At least she doesn't complain. She doesn't criticize. She doesn't waste her time talking ill about others, he or she. So it is of paramount importance that we chant Japa, if not for Prem, Krishna Prem, at least for protecting our material future. Chanting Japa is of paramount importance. And the Niti Shastras describe when we learn something in this world, we get into education, we should study the Shastra as if we are going to live forever. You see, to study Srimad Bhagavatam or to study Chaitanya Charitamrita, these texts, it takes a long time. It takes years of hard work. It takes years of hearing from the superiors, taking notes, studying very meticulously day after day, memorizing different sections, reconciling, removing our doubts, expressing it to our superiors, serving our Gurudev. And then after many years or many lifetimes, Bahunam Janmanam Ante, we can study. So Niti Shastra says, when we study Shastra, we should study as if we're going to live forever, which means we should study in great depth. But however, when we chant the holy name, when we perform dharma, we should chant the holy name as if Yamaraj has already caught our shika. Yamaraj has already caught our shika and we are just going to be finished. 1 second. In this mood we should chant. Desperation. Desperate call. Then I am at Jivana Sandhi. Jivana Sandhi means on the doorway, on the doorstep between life and death. Sandhi means joining. And Jivana Sandhi means the joining point, the meeting point of life and death. That is where we are standing and anything can happen at any point. So in this desperate mood, we should chant.